Hi everyone, I am back to share the second part of the series of videos in bringing our energy back into true balance. I will be discussing how to ground our energy today. I would have liked to have gotten this video out a lot sooner. I apologize. I've been doing some of my own personal inner healing work and wanted to make sure that I was in the right mental, emotional, spiritual space in order to share this information with you. So I'm going to be talking about different ways to ground our energy and why it's important, and also as a second step to cleansing our energy, which was our last video that I did and blog, and then prepare you for the next step, which is then the protecting our energy. So first off, one of the reasons why grounding is so important for us right now is because there's a lot of things that are throwing off our energy in different ways. One of them, of course, is when we have a lot of emotions that are coming up, then causes us to feel very overwhelmed, or feel anxiety, sometimes even feel almost kind of spacey, where we don't feel like we have anything we can grasp onto, and we feel unsafe. And another reason is, like, when we're in front of our computers or on our phones constantly, there are positive ions coming off of the phones along with radiation that can cause us to feel very drained. Can also cause other issues. So we really want to regenerate the energy within our body from nature, basically. With the negative ions that can actually bring back in some positive energy into our system and actually affect our health. There's actually a lot of studies out there on this. So this is really, really important right now because, I think a lot of us are feeling a lot of various different things. Everybody's in a different place. And so grounding, after you cleanse your energy and after you release emotions and after you release like some of the old stuff, grounding your energy into the planet and connecting with yourself and connecting with Mother Earth are really good for helping us feel like we can move forward, because it is time to move forward. So in order to do that, a lot of times as humans, we need to feel safe and rooted and supported. And that's what grounding does. So some of the different ways to ground our energy, as I was mentioning earlier, are in nature. And a really popular way that you can do this is called earthing. And it's really a very simple practice, but very powerful, and it really just requires you to set aside some time where you can go into a space in nature. It could be in the woods, it could be just in your backyard on the grass, by some trees, or even on the beach, where you can go barefoot and you can connect your feet to the earth for a good amount of time. I mean, I would say even like half an hour to an hour. If you can do longer than that, that's great. If you can only do like 15 minutes, that's even great. Anything is good, but the longer you do it, the more you're really, taking the time to receive and also making that space for yourself, which is also part of that. So in nature, some of the places that we can receive these negative ions are in the forest, in the water, springs, the beach, waterfalls. Immersing yourself in that, actually then what it does is it can boost the immune system. It lowers stress. It's been known to affect your mood and your sleep patterns. It fights against bacteria and other illnesses. So it's a very, very powerful way to stay healthy, actually. And really, like, immersing yourself. When I say immersing yourself, like really sitting in it for a while and just receiving that energy. And I don't know if you've ever sat by a waterfall, or they can be very powerful, and you can just kind of like go into a zone and notice how you feel afterwards. So it's very palpable, the feeling you get afterwards. You definitely feel better, but what it's doing on a, physical, emotional, and mental level is pretty amazing. So immersing yourself in nature is a great thing to do. Now, the other piece of this is, there's different forms of exercise that you can do for grounding your energy. And I really feel very grounded when I do yoga. Yoga really grounds my energy, especially if I'm doing restorative yoga. But even hatha yoga, vinyasa yoga, there's various different postures that really help you to feel connected to yourself. And if you're doing your yoga outside, even better. So that's another recommendation that I would make. When you meditate, if you are doing any type of meditation at this time, there are several different types of meditations that you can do to ground your energy, and including in your meditation, maybe if you're not necessarily doing a guided meditation, but kind of doing your own visualization, really tapping into connecting light through your body, but creating roots down into the earth, into the planet. And also, imagine your body becoming a plant or a tree that has those roots, and really feeling those roots kind of anchor into the earth, and breathing that energy back up into your body, up into your heart, and doing a lot of breath work with that can really ground your energy. Doing breath work can really ground your energy as well. An exercise that I've learned from my healer is to tap right here, your cheekbones. And this grounds your energy almost immediately. If you don't have time to do a meditation, and you don't have time to stop and do visualization or lean up against a tree, then just tapping right here on the top, if you can see the top of my cheekbones, automatically grounds your energy, and it brings your energy down. So when we're feeling kind of pulled in several different directions, or we're feeling drained from sitting at our computers, or we're feeling overwhelmed, it's a really good time to take a break and check in with ourselves to see if we are grounded, because with this, there's a lot of also other things that we can do to that are just everyday things that might be around, like your pets. Like your pets are very, can be very grounding, and even people, like certain people that you surround yourself. If you looked at some of the people that you hang out with, there's probably at least one or two people, maybe it's in family or friends, who just have more of a comforting feeling when you're around them, and also you feel more balanced and just more centered, maybe just by being around them. And that's another way, to talk to somebody like that, or to surround yourself with that. So practices that we can do in other areas are with food. You can look at the foods that are like root vegetables, which obviously makes sense, being that they're root vegetables, like beets and carrots and potatoes. Squashes are also very grounding, and you want foods that are kind of like tapping into your lower chakras. So the reds and the oranges and the browns and heavies, almost very similar to the crystals, which I'll be talking about in a minute, with color, and identifying which foods could be more grounding with color. You can also check in with yourself too to see what foods make you feel more grounded, and which foods are lighter. The grounding foods, a lot of times we tend to eat a little bit more toward the fall. That's when we're really kind of craving it more. But I find that when I'm needing grounding in general, that those are the foods that I crave. And depending on if you're a vegan, vegetarian, if you eat meat, fish, kind of take into account, what foods are making you feel a little bit more centered and connected and grounded when you eat them, and balance them with the lighter foods. But in general, that is a great, I mean, Medical Medium is a wonderful book also to look at for that too. I'm pretty sure he talks about a lot of, the foods, well, their purposes and where what they're associated with, each vegetable and each fruit. And I find his work very, very helpful in understanding that and how it connects to our emotional, mental, and spiritual health, as well as our physical health. So definitely check that out if you have a chance. And another thing that I just think is really, as this has been helpful for me, is really connecting with animals if you have an opportunity to do that, if you don't have your own pets, because they definitely hold a lot of grounding energy. And I know that the minute I come home, if I'm really feeling like I need to ground myself, the minute I wrap my arms around one of my dogs or even pet them, my energy goes, it's almost immediate. So that is definitely another way to ground your energy. And these are all also things that will lift your energy in the sense of making you feel good and making you feel happier. Grounding is, sometimes people tend to associate it with being a little bit on the heavier side, but it's really balancing, right? We're talking about balancing. So if you're up here, with your energy and you're grounding, you're really bringing everything back into balance. You're going from here, you sometimes have to go all the way down here to bring things into balance. And so, once you're back into that space because you have enough of this and enough of this and you're here, then that helps you to feel whole, and it helps you to feel like you're able to function and move forward and actually feel good about the moment or whatever it is you're doing. And obviously we all want that. So I would highly recommend, spending some time with animals if you can, in any way, shape, or form. Some of the crystals that I recommend to help you ground, I have here, and we had last month, we had carnelian as one of our stone of the month. And carnelian is a wonderful grounding stone. It's also very fiery. But it is definitely one of those stones that helps you to feel more connected, safe, and protected. It connects with the root chakra and the sacral chakra, and is, because of its color, because of its density, it does have both some quartz and some more, more opaque stone in it, so it's kind of a combination, but generally it is known for being very grounding. So definitely check out carnelian. It's wonderful for kundalini work and for bringing in creative energy, but a nice grounding stone as well if you need some of those other aspects. Agate is very similar. Carnelian is part of the agate family. This is a fire agate, I believe, from Brazil, and it's the other one was from Madagascar. And agate is obviously also very grounding, has the same characteristics as carnelian in the sense of the more quartzy and then the more dense color. And agate comes in browns and oranges and reds, and it comes in blues and other colors too, but for the grounding piece you want more of the regular, either the fire agate or the darker agates that are holding that color, because any of the crystals that have the browns or the reds or the black or the darker, denser colors are the ones that are going to be more grounding, and those are the ones associated with our lower chakras. And agate is a wonderful balancing stone, and also very protective, and also very expansive at the same time, but very grounding. Highly recommend. Very common, but a wonderful stone to have to work with. Amber is a wonderful grounding stone. It comes from trees. It's actually the resin from trees. So how much more grounding could you possibly get? It's a very protective stone, and it's very big on expanding your psychic energy and Yes, it's associated with your lower chakras, but also very powerful to wear by the throat. Amber has a lot of qualities. It has a lot of qualities. There's a long list. But because it is from the trees and also has kind of been formed in the water, and there's a lot of process that it goes through before this happens, and sometimes has insects or bugs that are kind of fossilized inside, trapped inside. It makes for probably one of the best grounding stones I can possibly share with you. Amber is a little bit more of an expensive stone. These are from Colombia. There's the Baltic amber. A lot of that's very expensive, but it's a beautiful, beautiful stone. And you can obviously find a lot of amber in jewelry, and we obviously use amber in jewelry at times as well. It's definitely one of the top picks, I would say, for grounding and connecting with the planet. So smoky quartz is another great stone to use for grounding. It really anchors your energy, and it helps lift depression and calms fear. So that's another really good one. And I know it also protects you from radiation as well. So wonderful to have near any of your computers, your TVs, any electronics where the actual positive ions are coming off and the radiation is coming off of. So smoky quartz is definitely a good staple, I would say, to have. Wonderful to have the points, by the way, in front of your computer. I have one right here, actually, I'll grab. And this I have by my computer all the time. And I have small ones too, but this, pulls the energy up. But highly recommend for grounding and protecting. One very popular one that I think a lot of people tend to be drawn to is black tourmaline. A lot of times people use this for protection, but it is very, very, very grounding. Obviously, it's very dense in its, how it, its formation, and also its color is black. So any of these dark, denser stones are really, you can really feel the grounding just by picking them up. This is, negative energy. It repels negative energy, and it's definitely great for that. I would say that's like the biggest thing that I would use black tourmaline for. It does other things as well, but it is definitely one to like throw in your pocket if you want to feel more grounded, or even do meditation and put it by your feet. That would probably feel really good too. So it's another recommendation. And then I've got snowflake obsidian. Snowflake obsidian is really a nice one too. Obsidian is great for like clearing confusion, feeling grounded and protected, and they're really pretty. They have like little, what look like snowflakes on them. Love snowflake obsidian. It's a really nice alternative to carrying tourmaline if you want something that's not as dense, just a little bit lighter, and has a few other qualities that are really nice. Labradorite is another one that can be very grounding. It's also associated, it's kind of like lifting and grounding, but I always say, depending on your energy too. All of these are depending on what resonates with you. As you know, that's the way I work. It really is more about what resonates with you. It's not just based on the properties, so you really would have to kind of hold these stones and see how they feel to you, and if they are doing what you need, along with grounding, but also if they have other properties that are helpful for you. And labradorite is all about transformation and holding your power, and it's very protective, but it is also very grounding. So I use a lot of labradorite in doing mineral therapies, where you might place it on the root chakra or down by the feet. And it has this beautiful reflective quality that we love. And it's just a really beautiful, beautiful piece. And so carrying that, or even like I suggested with the black tourmaline, doing meditation with it, and maybe holding the labradorite by your feet, or even sometimes by the lower chakras in your hands, that can be very, feel very good too. I feel like that's another way to practice some grounding. Tiger's Eye is another one I love. It's very good for actually developing psychic ability, and a lot of times it's worn by the throat, but I also feel like a good grounding one for your solar plexus, your root chakra, and you know, because of its brown striations, all the striations, it comes in like layers. It looks like lots of layers, and similar to some of the other stones like agate that have all those striations. I feel like that's symbolic of, you know, kind of attending to all the layers. So Tiger's Eye is another one that's great to utilize if it resonates with you. And the last one I have here, and there are others, but these are some of the ones that I just grabbed that I felt made the most sense. This is desert, well, it's not desert jasper. It is jasper that I found in Sedona, actually. And this is definitely very grounding. I would say jasper is a very peaceful stone. It actually brings a lot of calm and peaceful energy. But with that, it is also very grounding. And this actually feels like it just connects me back to the desert, where I definitely feel very grounded and at home. And it's very comforting. Jasper is a very comforting stone. And there's many different types of jasper. Desert jasper, red jasper. Red jasper is a good one for grounding. It's also associated with the root chakra. There's lots of different types, but I picked out this one because I happened to find it. Found a whole bunch of this on the trail in Sedona, so I was really psyched to be able to come across it. And so that's it for the crystals for right now, but if you guys have any more questions about grounding or would like more information that you think might be helpful, please contact us at TRU@TRUByNicole.com and check out our website for the written blog on this video. And if you are not receiving our newsletter, please sign up to be part of our TRU tribe, and you can receive what we have for the Stone of the Month, some information on that, along with some videos and some other recommendations and astrological insights. And yeah, we hope that this is helpful and look forward to hopefully connecting with you soon. Love you.